Welcome to Friends and Neighbors. I'm your host today, Sandra Onal, and look, we're in the kitchen. And not only that, I am here with Rebecca Keener, one of
my friends.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you. It's great
She's
to
our
be back.
special co-host today, and we are here in the kitchen. What are we doing here?
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a lifelong dream of mine because my mother and I used to pretend to do a TV show in the kitchen.
I love that.
A dream come true.
You know, we have a wonderful guest with us, Chef Rich. He is the founder of One Plate Culinary Preventive Care. It's a health and wellness program.
Love that.
You know, it's amazing how God knew from the beginning of time that the best food and medicine for us is in his food creation.
Right. Yeah.
So I am so excited to have Chef Rich with us. So Chef, welcome to the kitchen here at WATC.
Yay! Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me be here. I love this kitchen.
This is so exciting because God has really opened up amazing doors that in your life and how he brought you to what you're doing here. You have cooked for amazing people like Lady Michelle Obama, First Lady, I should say, and basketball players, and also doing a lot of education out there with food and wellness. So I am so excited that you're here to educate us about this. So what are we cooking here?
So today we're gonna do like a 3-bean chili with some chicken, but we're also gonna have a sweet potato lime like side dish.
Okay.
So we're gonna have some sweet potatoes and we're gonna put a little bit of fresh lime juice on there, and it's gonna be incredible. So it'll cut through a lot of the seasoning that's going on in here. So the first thing we gotta do is get this chicken ready.
Okay.
So I'm gonna work on the chicken because what we want to do is if you look at the chicken, and you can see it has a little, you see this little tendon right there?
Yes.
That thing does not break down.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to get rid of that. So the best way to get rid of that is I'm going to take it, just pinch it, and all you're going to do is take your knife and just scrape.
Okay.
And you'll see, once we start scraping it, the whole thing, comes right out. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, so that does not break down.
This does not break down.
I never knew that.
So it gets very chewy when you're eating
And
this.
I never knew how to handle that.
That's not what we want. We want to get rid of that. So we're just going to take this now and just chop this up. Real easy. All right, so we got one more.
Those are just like bite-sized pieces.
Yep, and these are just tenderloin pieces.
Good.
So the chicken tenderloin.
Like
so while I'm doing this,
all right.
one of you can start cutting that onion.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, let me see. I'll take the onion. Let's talk about this onion. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, of course.
So
Let's talk
a lot of people don't like onion, but you know, what's the why should we eat onion?
Onions are powerful antioxidants.
Okay.
So they're good for inflammation. They're good for your heart. They're good for just your system overall. So and they taste amazing.
Yes, they do.
You know, I think what a lot of people do is they don't buy the right onion. They don't cook it enough.
Yep.
Or, you know, they complain because they cry when they cut it.
That's right. I was going to say, if I start crying, I'm okay. Now, my mama always said that there's differences between onions, like the red onion is better than, I mean, we're not talking about better than others, right? But what would you say about that?
No, the red onion has an anthocyanin, so it's an antioxidant in there.
Okay.
The red onion is also a little bit sweeter
Ah, that's probably why she
than
likes
the
it.
yellow and the white onions. So sometimes, like in salads, if you wanted to put onion in, you can use the red onion, chop it up and throw it in there, and you can eat it raw.
Yeah.
With the yellows and the whites, they're a little bit stronger in flavor.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you just cook those out a little bit.
I always heard to run the water while you're cutting an onion.
Yeah,
Is that true? Is
I've
that
heard a lot of that stuff.
Does that take away the nutrients, though? Do you know?
That's
No,
not
just to keep you from crying.
It's the gas that comes out. I've heard everything.
Yeah.
You know, light a match, stand on one foot, say a Hail Mary first, you know, before you start cutting it. None of it works.
None of it. Now, I should have asked you, is there a proper way to cut it? Because I started doing it the wrong way.
That's okay. It is a little wrong, but that's okay.
Sorry.
And that's a good thing. Once it's cooked in there, no one's going to know.
Okay, so what's the right way?
So the right way would have been you wouldn't have cut all the way through.
Okay.
We'd want to leave just a little bit in there. That way it doesn't move all over.
Gotcha. See now.
Because it just becomes a little bit safer. But what we're going to do now, because I want you to keep all those fingers, is we're only going to do half like that.
Okay.
And then you'll just slice down
Slice
with this.
that way, okay.
Makes
Very
it a
good.
lot easier to work with.
Ask for
I
directions.
told you I grew up with
I'll tell ya.
Southern cooks, and they just hold it in their hand and cut toward them, you know.
Yep.
Oh my
That's how I
goodness,
do.
wow.
Not good.
Oh my
So what we're going to do is I'm going to season up this chicken, and I have some kosher salt here. And we're just going to add some of that to it. I like to season in the bowl and not in the pan.
What is that, about a tablespoon, Chef
Yeah,
Rich?
this is about a tablespoon.
Okay, gotcha.
That we'll add to it.
Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit of chili powder to this too. because we want to make sure it tastes good. Now, one of the things that I love about cooking is I can travel all over the world
Okay.
and never leave my kitchen.
Oh, I love that. How do you do that?
I can add all kinds of herbs and spices to this. So if I wanted to have a meal from Thailand,
Yeah.
I can do it right there in my own kitchen.
Okay.
Just using some of the herbs and flavors, that
Yeah.
they have from there.
That's great.
So before we move on, I'm just gonna mix this
Okay.
up. Now, I love kosher salt. I'm not a big fan of any other salt.
Okay.
Sea salt, all this
Himalayan
Himalayan
pink sauce.
nonsense. You don't want to fall for any of that nonsense because
Okay.
it doesn't make sense.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
grab
want you to
kosher
use
salt.
such little salt
Yeah.
that nutritionally you're not going to get much out of it.
Okay.
All right, so we want to use only a very, very small amount of it.
Okay.
Himalayan salt is very expensive.
Yes, it is.
Kosher salt's really, really cheap.
Yep.
All right, so I want you to get the flavor, but I don't want you to break the bank either.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's another thing that you focus on with One Plate, isn't it? Is just getting down the cost of a family meal.
We have 3 core values that we live and die by. Number 1 is smart shopping.
Yeah.
I want to get you in the grocery store and spend as little money as possible, but still producing a good meal. Everything we bought today,
Yes.
$19.
Wow.
Wonderful.
$19, and we'll make enough food for 4 people easily, and you can even have lunch the next day
There you go.
Wonderful.
I love it.
for $19.
Because a lot of people think, and a lot of families think,
yeah.
I can't eat organic, I can't eat healthy. It's so expensive, especially nowadays
True.
with how, where we are with just produce in general, right?
And we love going over that whole organic versus non-organic debate. There's no such thing.
Okay, so educate us. What does that
There is
mean?
absolutely no such thing between organic. Well, obviously there is such a thing.
Right.
The price is
Is
like
the thing?
ridiculous in
Sure.
organic versus conventionally grown, but nutritionally,
Okay.
they're exactly the same. There is no difference.
Wow.
Oh,
Good to know.
That is.
Oh, before I get in there, I'm just gonna. Now I put about a tablespoon of fat in here of
Okay.
olive oil.
Okay.
That's all you need. You don't need any more than a tablespoon.
Good.
Because what happens with oil is it starts to change.
Look, he just does that with his hands.
Yep,
I
just
love
get your hand in there. Move that around. Don't burn yourself.
That's the Marine in you, huh?
That's the reason, like, you're the cooking makes your fingers like super
Yeah.
tough. So,
I like it.
Love it.
so we just want to get that in. Now, the big thing is leave it.
Okay.
Do not touch it. All right, what we want to do is let this sear on the bottom. One of the things I should have mentioned before is before we start really doing anything, cutting anything, I want to make sure my pan is on.
Okay.
A hot pan will give you better quality product
Oh.
where things won't stick to it.
All right.
Even if it's a stainless steel, like this is a cast iron pan,
Yes.
an enamel cast iron.
Yeah.
We just heat it up. It won't stick to it if we just leave it.
That's great.
If I put it in a cold pan and bring it up to heat, I guarantee you it's going to stick. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's
Right.
just the way it's going to work. So we want to be really, really careful with
That's
that.
wonderful.
Right. That's a good tip.
Now, how much chicken did you put in there again?
So this is about maybe a pound and a half,
Okay.
2 pounds.
Okay.
Now again, we could use chicken, fish, pork, beef, or just more vegetables.
All right. Love
I know
it.
you like vegetables more than
Well,
beef.
I'm on a vegetable kick. We'll see how long this lasts.
So we don't need to put any meat in
Yeah.
here at all.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about our beans because our beans are a powerhouse.
Yes, the
of
frijoles
protein,
negros.
Yep,
Oh my
protein
goodness.
and fiber.
Yes.
So-
4 beans.
And we have 3 types of beans over, or 4 beans with,
Yeah.
with the green beans.
Yep.
Right.
But they're a powerhouse of protein. So I'm not
Right.
losing anything if I take the chicken out. I'm just a
Okay.
meat eater. I
Yeah.
like meat, but it's in
Well,
there.
my husband would love it.
Now, before I move on to anything else, we got to wash the hands.
Yes.
Remember, we work with chicken, or any kind of raw protein.
Yeah.
Everything kind of has to be removed,
Yes.
and then we'll switch over to a brand new bowl.
Perfect.
That's what we
So
have
you don't
2
need me
boards
to
out
mix
here.
this while you're washing your hands.
And you can see, we're starting to get some color on here, and I can
so
just
good.
take
It does.
like a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh,
see
look
how you
at
start to get
that.
some
yes.
color? But we just want to leave it, let it do its thing.
Okay.
Good.
Don't be impatient, let it work.
Got it.
I'm gonna go wash my hands here,
Very good.
and while I'm doing that, if you want to start cutting that pepper, we can get that going.
Very good.
All
Where
right.
do you want this onion? I'll just put it on the side here. All right. Now wait.
I'm your sous chef.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, is there a special way to cut the pepper? Now, since I didn't ask about the onions, just cut it in half, maybe.
No, don't please. Yeah,
You want me to show you? You want me to show you how my grandmama did it?
Oh my goodness. Or maybe it's this way. This is horrible. Maybe
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
Yeah,
done.
no, please don't cut it in half. That will hurt my feelings.
You can tell that I just kind of cut things. Educate me. How do you
So
cut
the
this?
first thing we want to do is clean up.
Okay.
Remember, we always want to have a clean station.
All right.
We always want to work like nice and neat.
Here, I'll throw
good.
this away for you.
Thank you.
These are all culinary tips that you learned at culinary school. You might
Yep,
want to
these
share
are
with
all
our
chef
viewers where you attended culinary school.
So I went to the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America,
I love that.
Amazing.
and like running kitchens,
You got
I
an
would,
expert today.
or even my students, I would just go crazy if their station wasn't clean
Oh, wow.
Right?
before they moved on to a
Yeah.
next step.
Okay.
So the only way I want you to do this is
All
I
right.
want you to cut the bottom,
All
flip
right.
it over, and just cut a little bit off the top.
All right.
What a lot of people do is they cut these all crazy ways, and we end up throwing stuff away.
You do.
Which
You
this
lose a lot.
is money.
Yeah.
We pay money for this. We want to make
Yeah.
sure we use every bit of
And
it.
these
I am
are
so happy you're here
these are
because
expensive.
I normally cut it in the middle and I do my own thing, but I am learning. I am learning now.
So you
cut
can
it right
see-
here.
Nothing sticks to the
Doing
bottom
great,
of the pan.
Sandra.
Appreciate that. Okay. So now.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is you're gonna pick it up just like this. Now you have a flat surface to work on.
right.
All I want you to do is slice down,
Okay.
just with the tip of it slice down. Then you're gonna do this, and then as you cut, you open and slice.
Look at that. Okay,
Fancy.
Oh my
wait.
gosh.
Fancy tricks here.
This one's gonna be so
Yeah.
proud.
Oh, no.
No, what
Just once.
What did I do? Oh, just once.
Now you lay it down.
Okay.
Now what you're gonna do is you'll take your knife, you'll go where you made your cut,
Okay.
and all you're gonna do is kind of like open and slice. Open
Roll it out.
and slice.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just roll it out, and all you were doing is cutting that little white rib off.
Okay.
Ah. See,
The rib is the pith that we want to get rid of.
That's good. Now, do you compost and use any of your?
No, I should.
I guess we all
I
should.
try to grow stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm horrible. I kill everything, so
okay. Did I? Well.
You know how to cook it, though. That's
I
for
can
sure.
cook it.
All right. So now what do I do?
so now what we'll do is you're just going to take this and cut it in half,
All right.
and now you'll put them both together like a deck of cards,
Look at that.
and then slice, turn it, dice, perfect.
Slice
Oh,
it.
wow.
Okay.
While you get that going, I'm going to get our
Oh.
onions going.
Now I feel bad that I didn't learn the onions. Okay. You'll have to tell me afterwards how to cut the onions.
I feel
right.
bad that I didn't learn how
Wait.
to cook 35 years ago when I got married.
And that's a good thing. There's never a wrong time to start learning.
I love it. Okay. So I'm going all the way through, right?
Yep, all the way
Okay.
through. So now we just added our onions. The great thing about this, it's a one-pot dish.
All right.
I love one-pot
love
dishes.
that.
I hate, you can ask my wife,
Yeah.
hate to do dishes. So I will do anything I can.
You
I will
don't do
create.
you cook, she cleans.
Do you
That's
guys
kinda how we
work
do
together
it,
as a
yeah.
team in the
We
kitchen?
try, but she's a chef too.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Like, I'll try to do tricks, and she'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's not working."
We try to
So-
switch out.
Yeah, that's
So,
nice.
yeah.
And what's so nice too is if you're on the go, if you have young children and
Yeah.
they're busy running around everywhere, you could just do this really quickly.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, this will taste I don't want to say 100
it
times better,
smells so
but it
good.
will taste so much more like character, have so much more character and
Yeah.
depth in it
Yeah.
tomorrow as it gets to sit and cool.
Oh, is it so
Okay, so I have to tell you a funny story. When I've been married about 24 years, and when we were newlyweds, I went to the produce section with my husband, and I decided to buy yellow peppers. Well, we were still, didn't have a lot of money at that time. We got into a huge argument in the produce section because he goes, "Why can't you just get the green peppers? They're 89 cents. Why are you paying $1?" It was hilarious. So every time we look at this, he's like, "Hey, but you're right. These peppers are really delicious."
He's going to love this show.
I know, I love it. See, I have now a famous chef who says to use
Yeah.
these peppers.
Well,
Now, there's
I
a
don't
little
know,
bit of
man.
red. Did you do a
Yep.
red pepper in here as well?
Yep, so we cut up some red and green, and the only reason
Love
I
it.
didn't get green peppers is because I have green beans.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Like, this is one of the things we try to stress as much as we can too,
Color.
is color.
So good.
Like all great investors, you want to diversify.
Yeah.
Right? And we want to diversify in color
Okay.
in our dishes. The more color,
Yep.
Yeah.
the more I'm getting vitamin A, vitamin C,
that's
vitamin
good to
K.
know.
Your
Yep.
body can only absorb so much of one vitamin.
Okay.
And after that, it's gone.
That's good.
So we try to break people out of the habits, and we try to really convince them to say, listen, I know broccoli is your go-to vegetable, but we need to change it up a little.
All right, all
You
right.
need to start eating a little bit more different,
I like
a different
that.
type of vegetable.
Oh, I
So
love
much
that.
flavor in that.
Oh, and it's so pretty too.
Oh yeah, it looks good, and kids are more
Yeah.
apt to try things when it looks visually appealing.
Yeah.
Very
Now, do you use your iron pot in the oven a lot?
Oh, I use this for everything. I
Yeah.
make rice in this thing.
Okay.
We'll do I'll show you how to make rice one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
The easiest, I promise you, guaranteed, it's going to be perfect rice 100%
Love
of the
it.
time.
Okay.
All right, so, but again, we would cut this, but we want to
We will,
move
okay.
forward.
Now,
All
I
right.
can microwave, Chef Rick.
All right, yeah, if you want to drop that in the microwave
put that in the
for our sweet
microwave.
potato.
Okay,
Right
no,
behind your
don't put a puncture in it, huh?
I don't think so.
Okay. We don't want it to explode on air. So.
And that's one of the things we always try to stress is frozen vegetables. You'll see every dish that we do, every meal that we do, we always have a frozen vegetable component.
Okay.
Okay.
Only because they're just as nutritious, if not more so, than some of the
Wow.
fresh components.
Okay, 4 to 6 minutes, do not pierce. I got it.
Now we'll
love
get
it.
our
Oh, this is so
peppers
pretty.
in here. You can see how easy this cooking is. Now,
Oh, my goodness.
who has the most aggression in here?
I don't know. I've been working the knife here for a little while, Rebecca. You want me to continue? All right, let's
So
see.
this is what we're gonna do. Now, when
All
you go
right.
for buying garlic, you wanna make sure you get something that's pretty tight together. If you see like a green sprout coming out, don't buy it.
Okay.
That means it's getting old.
All right.
Now, to get this out of here, you wanna make sure all you do is almost like doing CPR.
Okay.
You're just gonna kind of just roll your hands a little bit, and you'll see
Wow.
it'll break right up.
Wow.
All right, so that one is a clove. That's one clove.
Yeah, and then these are like bulbs.
Okay.
So we'll take this out,
All right.
and I'm gonna show you the easiest way to make like a garlic paste. I don't want you to waste money on that stuff that's
In the
garlic and oil. And, I want you to stay away
Okay.
from that.
I was going to
All right.
ask about that.
So what you're gonna do here, to get this out of here, you're just gonna take your knife, put it on top, take your hand, make sure your fingers are up, and just give it a little pop.
Wow.
And you'll see garlic jumps right out of
That
skin.
is awesome, and I'm sure it releases a lot of those juices too, right?
And we're gonna get a lot of that oil out.
Okay.
So all we do is go through that just like that. Now comes your part. I'll do one,
All right.
you do the other.
All right.
So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna take it, and this is where we really get all that
We
aggression
get that aggression out.
So you're just gonna give it a good
Oh,
smash down.
Wow.
And it's pretty much done, but we're gonna take it a little bit further. So now you're gonna put your hand, just like this, you're gonna put the spine, this is the spine of the knife,
Okay.
on the board, and you're gonna grab a little bit, crush it, and just drag it. And this happens really fast once you get the hang of it,
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
but all you'll do is just
Look
like
at
that,
that.
just make a paste.
And look at the
Now
oil.
this has all that oil in here, so this has more flavor than if I was just to chop this up.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That is awesome.
Never known this.
I haven't
I'm
either.
So excited.
Now I'm like,
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3. So
All
you
right.
can do this one here.
All right. I get the big.
You get the big one.
Go for it, Sandra.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So do this. Okay. And
No.
then, no. See.
All right, see,
What do
so
I do?
you wanna, because what'll happen here, and I had students do the same thing. They would take it, do like this.
Yes.
And start smashing this thing and be like, man, this,
Yeah.
it's not really working, but my knuckles are hurting.
Oh, my knuckles are there. Okay.
Yeah, so your knuckles are in the way. So you wanna make sure your knuckles are all the way out of the way.
Okay.
You put it flat on there and just give it
Okay.
a whack.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Why is this
You're
nervous?
doing
Okay,
great,
here.
Sandra.
Okay.
Oh, so just back it up a little bit more.
Or
Just like that,
All right.
perfect. And then just give it a whack.
that's
Nope,
not a
just-
whack. That's not, it's like,
That
that's
more
not
like a
a whack. Oh, okay.
There you go, there you go.
There's my aggression
good.
coming out.
There you go, don't tell me to buy green peppers.
I know. Errol. Oh, bless it. Okay. Okay, so what else? Okay, so keep mashing.
Yep, that's
And
perfect.
this is for when I was 2. No, I'm just joking.
Just keep on mashing away, just mashing this thing out. No more garlic.
Like, what is she doing in the kitchen?
Better than a therapist.
I know, exactly. There will be a spirit of obedience in this house.
So what you'll do here is you'll hold it just like this now.
All right.
And it's just like riding a motorcycle with this hand.
Okay.
I don't ride a motorcycle, but
But yes.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what
Okay, I got you.
And
You
then
just
these-
kind of.
yep, you'll just take 2 fingers, put it right
Rotate.
there.
Okay.
You're gonna grab just a little bit at a time,
And then,
crush it, drag it back, and then just like that.
oh,
So
okay.
the motion is just like this. But you're gonna grab a little bit at a time just to crush it.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
See how easy it is?
That is wonderful.
So good.
I'm sure the more like, you do it, the better you'll.
Oh yeah, and once you get the hang of it, it's like the easiest thing in the world.
I'm losing. Okay, hold on. Okay, how's it looking?
It's looking good. Good.
All right.
So now we'll scoop this all up.
Okay, so I cannot believe this. We're having so much fun in the kitchen. We have to go to commercial break.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness. Okay, so now that you smash your garlic, we'll take a break and come back and see what else is in store here. We'll see you shortly. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Friends and Neighbors. We're still here in the kitchen with Chef Rich and our co-host Rebecca. You know, It is smelling amazing in here. And I have a
is.
question because I know that the frozen sweet potato came out of the microwave. There has been a myth in my brain, I don't know how I got it, it just was there, that you can't, like frozen food loses its nutrients, stay away from it, but you just told me no. So tell us why.
And that's frozen food and frozen vegetables. I
Are
would
different.
say, I would say I
Okay.
consider them different.
Okay.
You know, frozen vegetables are just as nutritious, if not more so, than like their counterparts, their fresh cousins.
Gotcha.
And only because what will happen with our frozen veg is they get harvested at their peak of maturity and nutrition. So they taste amazing and they're really good for you.
Wow.
And then they get flash frozen, bagged up, and sent to you to the store.
That's awesome. Mind blown.
No.
Yeah,
I love that.
with other products, what will happen is it gets harvested early sometimes. It has to go on a plane trip or wherever to come over here, depending on what it is. If it's out of season, it's not going to be
Yes.
as good. And you pay more money for it.
Wow. Okay.
All right, a little thing. When we add garlic,
Okay.
here's a tip for everyone to know. When you add garlic, how long do you cook it for?
I don't know. Until it gets brown?
No,
Ah! See, I'm like.
just until aroma.
Oh, okay.
Once you can smell it, so I added it, I smell it, okay, it's time to move on to the next step.
Gotcha.
Now, the good thing about this, it goes super fast from now on.
All right.
So all we're gonna do is start adding. So as I'm adding ingredients, Rebecca's gonna get our sweet potato lime done.
Okay.
Now with this, before we cut it,
Yes.
we just wanna make sure that when we buy a lime, we get it and so we have to roll it.
Roll it, okay.
Ah.
All right, and what it does is it breaks up all the juice in there, and you can see it gets really soft and tender.
Okay.
And then we just cut it, add it to our sweet potato. It's gonna be delicious.
So, Chef Fresh, about the peel or about, do you normally scrape it? I mean, is that nutrient? If
Oh,
you
yeah.
Scrape the,
It has a lot of oil in the
Okay.
skin
All right,
that I
in the
always
skin.
like to use,
All right.
depending on what kind of dish I'm gonna do.
okay.
I love lime and these two flavors, sweet potato and lime. It's
And
great.
lime is
great
a
combination.
powerhouse of antioxidants.
Yeah.
And lime also helps with iron absorption. So if you have iron problems, it'll actually help you absorb iron more when you add lime to your
What
diet.
about
Right.
lemon? Is it like different than lemon?
It's a little bit different than lemon.
Okay.
Lemon is also a good powerhouse though,
Yeah.
too. All right, so now we're just adding beans. So we had garbanzo beans we added
All
in
right.
there.
So just half on the lime, is
Yeah,
that
just
right?
half, and then we
Okay.
can give it a taste and see what it tastes like.
Okay.
And now, the reason we added 3 types of beans is because beans are amazing. They're powerhouses of fiber. They're powerhouses of protein. But they come in different shapes and sizes and textures.
So good.
So we want to make sure that we kind of play around with that and use different textures and flavors in there.
I love
Very
that.
good. I taste the lime. It's great.
Now we're just we added all our beans and everything in there. We're going to add our tomatoes. And this is where your liquid comes in.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And this is just regular tomato.
Regular canned tomato.
Okay.
And then we're just going to give this a stir.
Oh, that looks so good.
And you can see how
smells
healthy
good.
it looks. I mean, it looks like it's got a ton of flavor.
Yes.
And it's super nutritious for you. Now, at this point, if you were like, oh my goodness, I might have a little too much, I don't have enough tomato, what can we do? Is all lost?
Okay.
Nope.
No.
What we're going to do, add a little bit of water.
Very good. That's what's neat about cooking. You can kind of make it your own.
You can
It's
always
not different
fix
than
it.
bacon.
Is
Yes.
this one of your own original recipes,
Yep.
Chef Rich?
I love it.
But
Okay.
since we're all family here,
Yeah.
it's everybody's now. We can all make it our
I
own.
love
That.
Oh,
And
it's
you've
so
raised
good.
three babies on this kind of food.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
And now what we do, put the cap on and just let it sit there 10 minutes, and you have a meal that obviously you can see how much it makes.
Yeah.
For $19,
Wow.
Love it.
That is
you have an
awesome.
entire pot of food.
That's great.
So-
That's my kind of meal.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is great.
Like
And cleanup is super easy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, now what do we do with the sweet potato?
So now the sweet potato, the reason we didn't add the sweet potato in here is because we have a lot of protein and fiber and everything there.
Yeah.
I want to make sure our kind of starch is separate.
Okay.
Because if I put it in there, then you wouldn't be able to get the right amount. So now we can portion this out, scoop it out into each plate, and then give them all the vegetables that they want.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice. Very nice. And then you've got an herb over there.
Yep.
And what we're going to do, as soon as this goes for 10 minutes, we have some fresh parsley. We're just going to chop it up.
Yeah.
Big, small, it's totally up to you.
Okay, so there's not like a regular way to.
Nope, just
All right.
chop it up. We're just going to chop that up, add it to it, give it a toss. Once it's cooked,
Okay,
like this is one of the last things you add in when you do it.
Gotcha.
gotcha.
All right, because what will happen is it's so tender and so delicate, it'll start to lose its color, lose its flavor. Remember, once it loses color and flavor, nutritionally,
Yeah,
losing its.
it's
Awesome.
power punch.
Yeah.
I love
Make
it.
sure we add it at the very last minute, give it a stir,
Yeah.
and you'll see the heat that's in there
Oh,
You'll
it's
be able to smell all
Yes.
that beautiful parsley. And remember, that is a power. Vitamin C, good for your immune system, good for your gut. I mean, it's so much beneficial
Yeah.
stuff
That's
when
awesome.
we eat like this versus
Yep.
stopping
And
at
you can
fast food.
actually really prevent certain diseases that can
You
come
can
your way.
reverse and prevent.
Wow, that's
so good.
powerful.
And I would never tell anybody, get off your medicines. Your doctor will tell you. Once you start eating this, when you
Yeah.
get on the program,
Yeah.
your doctor would be like, listen, man, your
That
blood
shows
sugars are
off.
good.
Yeah.
You don't need this medicine. You don't need that medicine anymore. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep
my
on doing what you're
goodness.
doing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
works.
really, God has a plan, and I think once we get so busy in life, we'll just kind of grab whatever.
That's right.
But this is so easy to do, and it doesn't matter if you're busy or not. You can get this done. Yeah.
Time-wise,
Yeah.
I mean, if we weren't talking,
Right.
literally 15 minutes, we'd be done.
Well, that's
The whole
great.
thing would be done. We'd leave it there, go help kids with homework or whatever, and then we can come back and it's ready to go.
Very good.
So good. I saw online you've got so many beautiful recipes and pictures, gorgeous pictures of just different ideas that you can come up with for weeknight meals and family
Everything
meals.
we do, we want to share with everyone.
I
And it's
love
our
it.
main mission to make sure everybody gets healthy.
How can people find you?
They go to the website, www.8.com.
Oneplate.com. I
One plate
love
to health.
that.
That's it, just one plate to health.
Oh, I just absolutely adore how God has used you
Yeah.
to inspire others to eat well. And thank you so much for joining us
Yes.
on this episode of Friends and Neighbors.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too. So we will see you next time. But before we say goodbye, we're probably going to, or after we say goodbye, we're going to
Yeah.
eat because it's
Yeah.
delicious. So
Yeah.
thank you again for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Chef
having me.
Rich. It's
Thank
great. Bye, everybody.